Case? It's been around 15 minutes now since you told me you'd be going to the bathroom. Are you all right? The bus will be here in another 5 minutes or so. If you're not feeling all too well right now, we can cancel this honeymoon and go another time.
I'm out of the bathroom right now. I'll be back to you in just a second.
Case? Hey, the moment I got onto the bus, you told me you had to go back to the bathroom again. Are you sure you're all right? The toilet on this bus is pretty small, so I'm sure it's not comfortable for you in there, right? Did you eat something bad yesterday, or that's got you feeling so poorly? Do you want to go and see a doctor about it?
I'm alright, okay? It's not all that bad, actually. I should be out of here and coming back to my seat here soon, so don't worry.
Are you sure? If it's getting really bad for you, we can go to a local clinic and have them see if you need any medication.
Alright. Sorry for getting you all worked up over me.
I'm sorry for constantly checking up on you.
What?
That toilet you were just in was the one on the left side of the bus, right?
What? Why do you ask?
The person in front of me is saying that there were some strange noises coming from that toilet when they walked back there. As though there was a guy and a girl in there.
What? What are they talking about? And that's not for me. I was going to go into that toilet, but it was locked, and so I went to the toilet on the right side of the bus instead. I know for a fact that I'm not in that toilet right now. So you don't have to be worried about those noises coming from me.
I see. Well, as long as everything's all right back there.
Wow, I can't believe that the toilet on the left side of the bus has noises like that coming from it right now. I'm surprised I can't hear anything right now. I'm coming back to my seat right now, by the way.
All right. Aunt May, do you have a second to talk with me? What? Is that you, Sarah? What's going on? We are supposed to be meeting in the hotel's lobby tonight, right? Is it really all right for you to be texting me now when we can meet later today? You are on your honeymoon right now, so I think it's best you enjoy this time with your husband. Well, about my husband. He isn't feeling all too well right now. What? Oh, no way. He's told me that he has some medicine he can take to help ease some of his stomach pain and that he'll just sleep for the rest of the day in the hotel room. But all of that is a lie. What do you mean? He was already telling me about how it would be better to just send him home and enjoy this trip by myself, considering it's a waste of money being at this hotel with him being in such a bad state. But then why did he come all the way out here in the first place when he was feeling bad before we left? And why is he sending me out of the hotel room when I can just relax in there with him while he sleeps? Well, I know why. Just 10 minutes ago, I saw him walking my little sister into the room. And as I walked up to listen through the door, I could hear the both of them moaning. What? You're talking about June then, right? I always heard stories about how much she's loved to sleep around, but I never thought she'd get to your own husband like that. And during your honeymoon of all times. That's what I'm saying. The only reason I was able to see him walking my sister in there in the first place is because I forgot my sun hat, and so I came back to grab it. Perhaps that could be considered a stroke of luck, having my timing match theirs. Or maybe it's bad luck. I opened the door just a little to make sure the person I really saw was June, and they were too busy getting it on in the bed to notice me peering through the crack in the door. This is too crazy. Now that I'm thinking about it more, I think that June snuck onto that bus with Case and I as well. The whole way out here, things were so strange, and I was starting to really think Case was up to something. I don't even want to know what was going on in the bus. Are you going to be all right, Sarah? Well, let's just see what I can do about this. I have some time on my hands right now, so how about we meet up early and talk about what to do next? Are you alright with that? You wouldn't want to be all alone after witnessing something as insane as that, right? I'm sure there are plenty of things I can help with as well. So please, let me come see you and we can talk all this through in more detail and make a plan. Thank you, Aunt May. Where are you right now? I'm just walking back and forth outside the hotel, trying to keep my mind off what I just saw. Then I'm going to start heading back there right now. Can you meet me over by the tennis courts on the east side of the resort? It'll take me around 30 minutes to get back there, so you can take your time walking to that area. Is that all right? Yeah. While you're on your way back, I'll get some things taken care of that need to be dealt with. What things are you talking about? I just want to talk with some other people that need to know what I've seen is all. Ah, I see. I'll see you in a little over 30 minutes then. See you soon. Case, how's your stomach feeling right now?
Right. It is still causing me a little trouble and churning quite a bit, but I think I'm past the point where it was going to hurt the most. I'm sure the medicine is helping break things up in there a lot, as I haven't had to go to the bathroom as much anymore.
I see.
What have you been up to? Around this time, we were supposed to be going to the gardens or something like that, right?
I'm out with Aunt May and doing a couple of things.
Ah, she came along on this trip as well, right? I forgot that they had been wanting to come to a place like this as well, and made the choice to come during our honeymoon. Well, I'm glad you have had someone to spend the day with.
That's right.
By the way, we were supposed to be meeting with her tonight in the hotel lobby, right? Why don't the two of you just go out to eat dinner without coming back here for me?
What are you going to do then, Case?
I'll order something small with room service. I'm honestly not too hungry right now. So maybe just a small bowl of ice cream, and then I'm going back to sleep. I feel as though another good round of sleep will fix the stomach ache up for me. So if you just go out and have dinner with Aunt May, then that would give me the rest of the evening to relax.
I see. Then once I've had dinner with Aunt May, I'm heading all the way back home by myself.
What?
Well, if you're going to keep it up with that behavior, there's no real need to call all of this our honeymoon, right? I don't really want to be going around by myself seeing all the sights when it was supposed to be about you and I. So I'll head back to the house and relax by myself there.
Wait, I'm sure that by tomorrow I'll be feeling a whole lot better again.
Nope, I'm going home. There's no point in calling this a honeymoon trip anymore now, is there?
Huh? What are you trying to get at there, Sarah?
I'm going to go back out with Aunt May, have some dinner with her, and then head home.
Hey, listen to me. You're just going to head home by yourself and abandon your new husband out here when he's feeling sick? That's pretty messed up of you to just leave your sick husband here in a place he knows nothing about. To go home by yourself.
I am sure it's not me who's the messed up one here.
What the heck is all of this about? You're a freaking jerk for canceling this honeymoon without asking me first, and then leaving me here when I have a stomachache. Hey!
Oh, it's you again, Case?
Don't tell me that you're actually heading home soon.
Well, I am. There were some seats left on the last bus leaving here today, so that's what I'll be riding on.
Huh?
I'm on my way to the bus terminal right now, with Aunt May, of course.
Huh?
You go ahead and do whatever you please there at the resort.
What are you talking about? This is supposed to be yours and my honeymoon. Why would you leave right in the middle of it when I'm just getting back to my normal self and want to have fun with you? Why are you just leaving me here without a care in the world?
Do I really have to give you the reason for why this is?
You want to go home because I became a little sick for a day or two, and it was no fun for you, right? I'm sorry that I ended up getting this sick, but you were the one that left me in this room all day long by myself with no company at all. You're screwed up, Sarah.
Ugh. So that's the reason you think I'm leaving you to go back to the house?
What other reason would there frickin' be right now?
How about the reason of you and my little sister getting it on in the hotel room today?
What?
Back when we were on our way out here on the bus, there were some things going on that made me a little concerned.
Sarah?
Back when the guy sitting in front of me on the bus said something about strange noises coming out of the toilet on the left side of the bus. That was you and June, right?
And
And don't tell me the same thing was going on with you two in the bathroom before you and I got on the bus.
why would you bring something like that up? Did June say anything to you yesterday or today?
Listen, Case, I know what's happened, so give it up trying to convince me otherwise.
What?
This morning, after you told me to leave the room and go do some things by myself, I forgot my hat and went back up to the room to go and get it.
What?
You both didn't seem to notice anything at the time because you were too busy humping each other. But that's when I saw with my own eyes that you were doing my little sister. I was looking through a crack in the door I made by opening it ever so slightly. She was riding on top of you for a bit before you both rolled over and kept going at it under the covers.
You're lying.
Oh, I sat there listening and watching for close to 10 minutes because I couldn't believe my eyes and had to keep checking again to make sure what I was looking at was actually real. I'm sure that June is staying at the same resort right now. If she wasn't, then there would have been no way of her getting into the resort and up to our room that quickly, right?
No, wait,
In other words, since the beginning, you and her have been planning on going to the same resort at the same time during our honeymoon so that you both could play around. Right?
Well,
I'm going to find out all the finer details in this from here on. And it would help me out a lot if you would just confess to what you've done here. And to make that happen, there will be a lot of people showing up to your room really soon.
a lot of people showing up to this room? Here?
I don't want to see you in person for a little while now, so I'll leave it up to all of them to get the information I need.
What are you going on about? What? Hey, Sarah, why are both my parents and your parents here right now? Why were they all allowed to come into this resort? We are way too far away from home for all of them to have made it out here this quickly.
Wait, did you totally forget or something? To join in on some of the fun we were going to have, our parents all got together and planned a trip out for themselves to come to this area as well.
What?
They wanted to have some good family bonding time as well, since you and I just married, so they booked rooms at a resort just down the road. But when they heard the news from me about what I'd seen, they all got into their rental van and started to make their way over to the resort you're at.
What? Huh?
They were also able to make a last-minute change to stay at that resort tonight. Since both the resorts on the street are owned by the same company and are able to do things like that for their guests.
What?
It also helps that Aunt May has a friend working for that resort. She had a word with that friend of hers and told them everything they needed to know. So that friend went ahead and made sure to give our parents the large suite room in order for you all to sit down and have a nice long meeting.
Wait.
So now that you're aware of that, tonight will be a blast for you. Both you and June will be able to have a seat in that room with all four of them and take it up your butts.
Are you freaking kidding me, Sarah? Sarah, I made sure to get that settlement into your bank account. The divorce paperwork has all been handed into the courthouse as well.
Is that right? Thank you so much for letting me know.
Well, now that I've thought about it, this divorce is perfect for me.
Why is that?
Well, now I'll be able to marry your little sister instead. Tomorrow, I'm going to go and propose to her, and then from there, her and I can run over to the courthouse again and get married.
So you're going right back for more then?
I may have lost my parents because of what happened, but as long as I have a young and cute-looking wife like June in my life, I'll be just fine. I'll be perfect, actually.
That might not be happening though, Case.
Why do you say that?
Because June is already married.
Huh?
From what I've heard, she already gave birth to the son of a truly top-notch CEO who's making over $1.5 million a year. So, after giving birth to his son, they both tied the knot and are now considered husband and wife.
What did you just say? She got married to another man? Even though I went and paid for both the settlement you asked for me and the settlement you asked from her? She just left me now?
Did you really think you were the only man she was getting love from? I'm not sure what made you think that about her, but for the longest time now, she's been a real whore.
What?
Ever since high school, I think, she's been sleeping around with pretty much any man she could land. There were times she'd call them her boyfriends or something, but that would mean at some points she had 3 boyfriends at a time.
What the actual heck?
I'm sure that since she just got married, she's gone and ended all those other relationships she was having.
I never heard anything about this stuff, though.
I think she was waiting until after you paid both of your settlements to me before she would say anything.
That frickin' whore.
Well, along with myself, my parents have also gone and cut ties to my little sister. So now you both mean nothing to us. Good luck trying to figure out the situation you've gotten yourself into now, Case. Goodbye. After that, Case went and found the company of June's husband and ran in there making a huge scene. This led to June's husband finding out about all the men June had been with before, and so he had a DNA test done on his baby that she recently had. It turned out that the baby was Case's. This led to June then being divorced by her husband and him getting a settlement from her, and Case was also given a bill for all the things in that man's office building that he went and broke in his rage. However, even after all of that, Case still wanted to be with June, and so those two handed in their marriage form. As of right now, those two are working hard to make up all the money they need to pay off all their debt. But while that's happening, June is still finding ways to go back out with other men. Case is very much aware of what she's doing, but for some reason he doesn't want a divorce and just ignores all of it. Even more recently, things between those two have become so divided that they sleep on opposite sides of the house from one another. Because of this, it seems like the place is a very bad environment for their baby, and so my parents and I have talked about taking it away from them. Time will only tell what happens next, but I just hope nothing happens to harm that whore's baby.
Hey, you piece of filth. I'm not paying you to create more messes here. You better clean this entire place up after we close up tonight. I want this place spotless. If I so much as see a single bit of dust in our restaurant tomorrow, you're not gonna like what's coming for you. Do you hear me?
Wait, again? You want me to work overtime again?
That's exactly what I said. You better stay behind and clean all of this. And don't go expecting me to pay you for it either. You should be happy that I even hired you.
But I only just started working here a week ago. I haven't learned the ropes yet.
Who do you think you are to talk back to me like that? Huh?
Exactly. You hired us to work for you. So you should be taking care of us. Not treating us like this. It wasn't written in the contract that I'd be working overtime for free anyway.
Look, darling. Just shut it. Do you want to lose your job,
Are you threatening to fire me just because I gave you my opinion on something? Since when can you fire people for expressing themselves?
Didn't I tell you that I make the rules around here? Look, quit talking back to me. You're in charge of cleaning out the inventory today. And don't forget to work on the purchase orders too. You got that, woman?
What? That's your job. You're in charge of the work related to inventory and ordering. Why don't you do it?
How many times do I need to tell you? I make the rules around here. So if I tell you to do one thing, all you gotta do is do it. Don't make me say it again. Now get to work.
How can you say that? This entire workplace is crazy and everything here is so wrong. You can't treat people this way.
Ugh. Looks like I'm gonna have to waste some energy trying to get into your thick head about how things work around here. Rule number 1. Don't talk back to me. Rule number 2. If you want to keep this job, do what I say. See? How simple was that? I made it easy for you and narrowed it down to 2 simple rules. Just 2. Now, that can't be difficult to follow, right, sweetie?
Oh, you make me want to vomit. Morning, Heather. I heard about what happened yesterday between you and Kevin. I hope you're okay there. Morning, Natalie. Oh boy. It was awful, I tell you. How did you manage with all the inventory stuff yesterday? You need help? Yeah, thanks for the offer. But yeah, I did it all yesterday. It's done now. Oh boy. I heard that he told you to do the purchase orders too. How did that go? Let me know if you need any help, okay? I'm always here for you. Oh, thanks, Natalie. I appreciate it. But yeah, I managed to get that done too. I can't believe he made me do it when I've never done either of those things before. Honestly, for the most part, I had to look online to see how to do everything. And then I had to keep asking other people for help. But understandably, they didn't know much since they're not used to taking care of these things either. This is Kevin's job, not ours. It's so unfair. Well, I know. It's really not fair to you, is it? But I have to say, I'm checking the system now, and it looks pretty perfect to me. I've done it a few times before, so I can tell what looks right and what doesn't. And yeah, as far as I can tell, this looks really good. Well done. You should definitely give yourself a pat on the back. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, but there's something I should warn you about, I guess. And I really hate to say this. Oh no, what is it? Well, Kevin has this thing. Thing? What do you mean by thing? Well, what I mean is that Kevin has this thing for people, especially newbies who can do the work better than him. He hates them. I mean, I'm guessing it's probably because he has some kind of inferiority complex. But when he finds anyone who's more competent than he is, he basically bullies them. He tends to harass them into doing things like what he did to you. What? No way. He can't do that. I can report him for workplace harassment. Oh, I wish he would. I'm too scared, and plus I really need to hang on to this job, so there's no way I could ever risk it. But there's been a lot of other people in the past who've tried to go against him. They all ended up being fired. I would hate to see you be the next one if I'm honest. So maybe you should stay out of it. But you're probably more qualified than me, so I'm sure you can find other jobs easily. No, I'm sure I'm not. I just can't believe how horrible he is as a manager, though. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I didn't know if I told you this before, but the reason why I need this job so desperately is because of my family. What do you mean? Well, I lost my parents when I was only 10 years old, and so I've been taking care of my younger sister ever since. We didn't exactly get along with our foster parents, so I left the house as soon as I turned 18 and when my sister was 16. I got a tiny apartment and swore to make it the best home for us. And I promised to provide for her so that she can graduate high school and go to college. Unlike me. I just couldn't get through high school myself, so I dropped out halfway. I'm a high school dropout. Oh, I didn't know about that. Well, yeah. So you can imagine no one would want to hire me, right? I'm lucky enough that Kevin hired me to work here. Which means I'm pretty much controlled by him now. He practically has me on a string. I hate it, but what can I do? Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I really am. If it's worth anything, my dad dropped out of high school too when he was young. It was pretty hard on him to make that choice too, but he said he wanted to provide for his family. So I kind of understand a bit about what you must be going through. Oh wow, your father really? Yeah. And because of that, I was made fun of at one point in both middle school and high school, actually. But I just sucked it up and I took one for the family. I just became numb to it eventually. And my dad is a wonderful dad, so it didn't matter what anyone else said, so long as I knew the truth about how great he is. Oh, wow. Your dad sounds like a great person. He is, definitely. He worked really hard and made his way up in the corporate world, too. So I've seen how he dealt with big bullies since there are a lot of them in his industry. And I learned a lot from him that way. Grew thicker skin and everything, I guess. Oh, right. I had no idea. But when I was going through what I can probably call a dark time in my life, that's when I randomly came to eat at this restaurant. You know how we do the $5 set meals for lunch here? Yeah. Well, being broke most of the time, those huge meals helped me out so much back then. And that's when I came to love this place so much. Those meals aren't just cheap, they're pretty good and have more nutrition than other places. Oh yeah, I agree, they're so good. And I had no idea how much you loved this restaurant. My sister and I also came to this restaurant just for those meal deals too. Oh really? Coincidence? Yeah, I take my sister there for her birthday, cause that's where she always wanted to eat. She loved it. Aw, that's so nice of you to do that for her. Yeah, and Kevin used to be nice back then. Or at least he was good at putting on an act like he was some welcoming restaurant manager. I really thought this restaurant was one of the best places to be. I also thought that too. That's why I applied to work here too. Yeah, and we both got hired. I never imagined I'd get hired here because of, of my academics or the lack of. But back then, Kevin would say really nice things to me. He said a high school diploma was just a piece of paper and my determination was what was really important. Oh, really? He said that? Wow. Yeah, he also said that all of the staff here were like his family and he would look out for me. Ha! Family. Yeah, he must have been a completely different person back then. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's so sad how things have changed. You know what? Talking to you about this only makes me that much more determined and motivated to make this a better workplace for all of us. I want to make this the best place to eat in this entire neighborhood like it used to be. Well, I support you there. It's great to see that at least someone else has the courage to say what you just said. I'm just too scared and worried. You mean about possibly losing your job? Yeah. Well, you just watch this space, Natalie. Watch me turn this place around like no one has before. Were you the one who did the purchase orders this time? Yes. You asked me to do it for you the other day. Why on earth did you order 100 bottles of red wine from Chile? Really? I don't remember. Did I do that? Well, it says 100 on the order form. Well, the alcohol part was already done, so I didn't change anything in that category. Well, I guess it's not a huge issue. Wait, what? I'm just telling you that it's no big deal, really. Everyone makes mistakes at some point, eh? Okay. Just make sure you don't make the same mistake twice. 'Cause then you'll be in trouble. Okay. You never told me what you thought about my plate throwing skills. What did you think, huh? I'm pretty good at it, wouldn't you say? Why? Give me one good reason as to why I deserved having those plates thrown at me like that. Don't you know that you cut my arms and face as well? You need to see the evidence. I have photos. That's not my problem. You're the one who made an inadmissible error that cost us a lot of money. So in my books, you deserved it. What error? Oh, wait a second. You're talking about those wines from Chile, aren't you? You try to kill me because of something I keep telling you that I did not do. That was all you. Now you've got to pay for it. But you said it was okay. Why the change of tone now? Look, I'm a busy man over here. I don't have the time to waste reprimanding every single mistake that you guys make, okay? Do you realize how stressful this job is? And you're just here to make it worse. So give me a break, why don't you? Quit making a fuss over a couple of plates. Right. That's it. I've had it with you. I'm gonna make it my personal mission to take you down. Say that again, I dare you. I said, I'm going to crush you. You gotta be kidding me. I dare you. Oh, and before I forget to tell you, you're fired. Heather, oh dear, is it true? Is it true that you've been fired? Are you okay? Yes, it just happened yesterday. That's his way of doing things around here, I guess.
I'm okay, actually. In fact, I'm more than okay. I got over it pretty quickly.
Oh, well, I guess that's good. But I hate myself for not being able to stop you from getting fired. I couldn't do anything. Again.
No, don't worry. It's all him. You've always been nothing but nice to me and to all the other newbies who work there. If it weren't for you, I don't even know how I could have survived there as long as I did.
I feel terrible. I'm so sorry.
No, honestly, you have nothing to worry about. Natalie, are you there? I just heard that you were fired too. That's not true, right? That job meant everything to you.
Hey, Heather. Yeah, but how did you find out?
Never mind that. What happened? Tell me everything.
Well, after you left, a new girl came to take over your position. She just happened to have gone to the same high school that I dropped out of. And coincidentally, she also has a tough family history. And she has to take care of her mother, who's bedbound.
No. Don't tell me that you did something to protect her and then you got fired instead.
Well, I guess you could say that.
Well, what happened?
Well, she made a mistake, and a big one at that. In fact, it was weird because she made the same mistake you made with the wine bottles from Chile. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that.
So I just said it was my fault. I couldn't let her get fired when she just got the job. She probably needs the money more than I do so she can take care of her mother. But yeah, he just fired me right there on the spot.
But you've worked there for the longest of all of us. You've worked there for the longest time.
Yeah, just over 10 years.
And he let go of you just like that? And he knows about you and your sister, right? He knows how much you needed this job, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he called the both of us stupid. I hate him so much for that. But I'm so determined to get another job and keep saving up so that my sister can graduate from college. I'll do whatever it takes, I'm telling you.
Oh, Natalie. This is Heather, if you remember. You fired me about a week ago? Oh, who do we have here? Oh, the idiot who thinks she can crush me. How's life since I fired you, huh? Are you having fun? What do you want, anyway? I ain't giving you your job back if that's what you were expecting. Actually, I'm just saying hello as the new owner of this restaurant. Huh? My father, who happens to own this restaurant, had me take it over. What the hell is this nonsense? Quit wasting my time. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay, well then maybe I'll have my father have a word with you in person then. You know, Ted Bills, right? Mr. Bills. He is the owner here, but wait. You're Heather Bills? No, that can't be right. You're his daughter. Why? What were you doing working at my restaurant then? What did you do that for? Well, my father had intended on retiring this month. So prior to taking over his role, it was my duty to inspect the restaurant disguised as a waitress. And what better way to find out what really goes on there besides actually working there, right? Unfortunately, I found so many problems during my inspection that need to be addressed. What I mean is that a restructuring will take place sooner or later, so be prepared. What? No. This must be some kind of joke. Well, think what you like, Kevin. Quite frankly, I don't have time to be wasting on you. Oh, and before I forget, I know all about your embezzlements and wrongdoings that took place in this restaurant. No, wait. I don't know what you're talking about. Can you explain it to me? Oh, are you asking me for my time now? Look, for instance, the purchase order for the 100 bottles of wine. Why aren't they in stock? You ordered 100 by accident, didn't you? Where are they? Well, that error was fixed. I fixed it. I fixed it for you. For me? Right, I mean, you made that mistake, right? Not me. In fact, you owe me one, right? Oh. What exactly do you mean by that, Kevin? Well, it cost me $30,000 to fix that problem you made. So I can settle with that amount, and if you wired the money to me, I'd be more than happy to just call it fair and square.
Huh. The audacity that you have to ask me for $30,000 for the mess you made? Wow. In your dreams. And speaking of dreams, you'd better try to get some good dreams in now. Because from here on out, it's all about the nightmares that'll be coming for you.
What do you mean by that?
Firstly, the fact that you threw several plates at me. That accounts for charges of assault and battery. Secondly, you injured me. As I told you before, I have plenty of evidence of the injuries. For that, you'll be charged for inflicting bodily injury. And last but not least, for deliberately causing human errors on account of your staff with the intent to resell wine bottles. Well, that's an embezzlement charge, isn't it? We have plenty of evidence to prove everything. You might as well just give in.
What do you know? You're no lawyer. You're no detective.
Oh, but I have strong ties with both the police and lawyers, thanks to my father.
I can't believe you got the cops involved. This is a business matter. If anything, it's a personal matter. Why, you little...
You abused your authority to intimidate and dismiss innocent workers at this restaurant. You've caused PTSD in some. You need to not only understand and sit in remorse for what you did, but to pay for the cost of the damages that you've caused everyone.
No. Well, wait a minute, okay? I admit the wine was me. Yep, that was me. Our business has been in the red for months. I just panicked. I acted out on a whim. I'm sorry, okay? Come on. And the plates? That was just for fun. Just a bit of fun. Maybe I did cross the line a bit. But it wasn't that bad, was it?
Yes, it was. Oh, and before I forget, you're fired.
You can't fire me. I'm the boss here. I mean, you might own this place, but I run it. They need me here.
So how does it feel to be fired now, Kevin? After that, the cops went over to the restaurant to put Kevin in handcuffs. On top of the 3 charges I mentioned, he was also charged with coercion of unpaid overtime work. Don't worry, he's now legally obligated to pay everything he owes to me, Natalie, and all of the other workers he forced to work unpaid. Apparently, since Kevin had no previous criminal records, he's likely to be on parole. With the press camping outside his home, his debt mounting and interest accruing, he is in under an exorbitant amount of stress. It's hard to see him like this, but that won't stop me either. I'll make sure to expose him so that he sees the light of day so he can pay for what he did to all of us. Maybe he'll finally understand that what goes around will always, eventually, come around.